Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Ashtoshtaka. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnavanda ki, Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki, Prem Sikaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Ghaura Bhakta Vrinda ki, Gangamai Yamunamai ki, Sri Sri Radha Vrindhavan Chandra ki, Gopal Nath Ji ki, Nitai Gaur Nataraj ki, Gaur Nitai ki, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mai ki, Prahlad Narsimha ki, all holy dhams ki, all holy rivers ki, all glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna, all glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna, all glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So we'll go to the verse. The verse that we are going to discuss today is from 3rd Canto, 30th chapter, 29th verse. Om Namo, please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Atraiva Narakasvargaha Iti Matas Prachakshate Ya Yatana Vai Narakyaha Ta Ihapi Upalakshitaha. Please, anyone? Vaishnavis? Thank Atraiva Narakasvarga Iti Mata Pratakshate Ya Yatana Vai Narakasya Aika Vai Upalakshitaha. Atra, in this world, eva, even, narakaha, hell, swargaha, heaven, iti, thus, mataha, O mother, pachakshate, they say is those who are wise, they say, yaha, which, yatanaha, punishments, why, certainly, anarakyaha, hellish, tah, they, iha, here, api, also, upalakshitaha, visible. Visible, we need to extend to the point where one is experiencing. That's another word for upalakshite. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Lord Kapila continued, please repeat after me. Lord Kapila continued, my dear mother, it is sometimes said that we experience hell or heaven on this planet for hellish punishments, or sometimes visible on this planet also. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki Jai. Sometimes unbelievers do not accept these statements of scripture regarding hell. They disregard such authorized descriptions. Lord Kapila therefore confirms them by saying that these hellish conditions are also visible on this planet. It is not that they are only on the planet where Yamaraja lives. On the planet of Yamaraja, the sinful man is given the chance to practice living in the hellish conditions, which he will have to endure in the next life. And then he is given a chance to take birth on another planet to continue his hellish life. For example, if a man is to be punished to remain in hell and eat stool and urine, then, first of all, he practices such habits on the planet of Yamaraja. And then he is given a particular type of body, that of a hog, so that he can eat stool and think that he is enjoying life. We know this, Prabhupada often quotes this particular story of Indra becoming a hog, same thing. It is stated previously that in any hellish condition, the conditioned soul thinks he is happy. Otherwise, it would not be possible for him to suffer hellish life. Om Ajnanam Timirandasya Jnana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kathamayam Adanti Swa Padantikam Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Atraiva Naraka Swargaha Iti Matas Prachakshate Ya Yatana Vai Narakyaha Ta Ihapi Upalakshitaha. The Lord Kapila continued, my dear mother, it is sometimes said that we experience hell or heaven on this planet, for hellish punishments are sometimes visible on this planet also. First of all, I would like to thank for giving me an opportunity to speak here. I think it's appropriate to select me as a speaker to speak today, especially with this course that's going on, for you all get an experience how one should not give a class. So thank you for that. Jai Krishna Prabhu, thank you. So that's how I take this. I'm an experiment, guinea pig for you all to see how not to give class. And also thank you all for being here. The class for next 40 minutes, I have divided into two parts, where the first part is going to be focusing on the devotional aspect. And I thought the second part could be whatever we learned yesterday from Anuttama Prabhu can be implemented from this sloka as a leadership aspect, from the leadership aspect. So two parts to the verse. First part, we'll see the devotional aspect. Just a context of the sloka. There's a conversation is taking place between Mother Devahuti and her son, dear son Kapila, who's the incarnation of the Lord himself. On the 29th chapter, the chapter prior to this one, Devahuti is asking three questions. The three questions that she's asking is, explain the path of devotional service. That's number one. And explain the continual process of birth and death that's taking place in the material world. That's number two. The third question is, describe me about the eternal time factor. What is this time? How does it work? So these are the three questions that she started in the 29th chapter, which is continuing right now on the 30th chapter. The first question and the third question, which is explain the devotional aspect, how to perform devotional service. And the last one is the time factor. These two are explained in the 29th chapter and two verses on the 30th chapter, the first two verses from the 30th chapter. But then the rest of the slokas on this particular chapter is addressing the second question, that is the continual process of birth and death. What's the cause of birth and death? What people do in this world? What are they experiencing, and etc., etc. What is that making them to take birth again? All those things is filled in this particular chapter very nicely. Very nicely is again what we learned as nice is an art and a nice word to explain. Until yesterday afternoon, I was perfectly all right to give a class. Right after the afternoon, Anuttama Prabhu started giving how to present class, I got nervous. That's when I thought it's going to be difficult for me to speak, because I'm going to be the right person. You're all going to give a feedback after this. So the second question of the birth and death is what's been explained is this particular chapter, where Malati Prabhu explained yesterday in 7 verses what a living entity goes through. It's all because of the attachment due to the lack of understanding of reality of the life. The reality of the life is that we are on a temporary journey. The journey continues, but it's temporary. But within this given temporary period, we get so much fixed and attached to the things around us, and especially get attached to our own self, our own self. Therefore, the wrong identification of the body, which leads us to extent of, this is my wife, this is my husband, this is my son, this is my position, I am so and so, I have a name, fame, prestige, etc. All those things makes us to feel that I am actually the one to be given all importance, right? Therefore, I am the center of attraction, limelight, under the limelight. So which makes us to feel and do things to make ourselves happy and our family members happy and our friends happy. To make everyone happy, what we do is some actions which is not prescribed by the Shastras, which is not prescribed. Is here anyone for the first time attending the Bhagavatam class? Anyone new here? No. Okay, very good. Just want to make sure I don't use certain words here, otherwise. So they don't believe in, these people are so much caught up, people are caught up so much so into making their living in such a way, somehow or the other, be happy, irrespective of whether you do the right thing or the wrong thing. They do not discriminate what is right and what is bad. They somehow or the other want to be happy, and they want themselves to be happy, the family members to be happy, and so forth. Therefore, they don't care about the next life, karma, and good karma, bad karma, reactions, any of these things. Lead life, king size, right, as they say. So even in this regards, Prabhupada, one time what happened was one person came and spoke to Prabhupada. Prabhupada, I see that all your disciples, including you have so much restrictions and a lot of austerity that you all follow. You get up in the morning, early morning, and then start doing some prayers, and you have to sit and chant for a couple of hours, and you can only eat certain things, you cannot eat certain things, you can watch this, you cannot watch this, and so many restrictions are there in the name of God. What in case, at the time of death, you come to understanding or realization there's no God? Your life, you missed your opportunity in your life. You would have enjoyed your life, you missed your opportunity. One time opportunity you missed, that is understanding. So Prabhupada said beautifully that, yes, if I come to know there's no God, according to the time, place, and circumstances, Prabhupada's response answers, right? That's one of the principles that we learned yesterday. So Prabhupada very nicely he said, yes, if there's no God, at least we'll be satisfied. We led a very disciplined life, healthy, disciplined life. Prabhupada did not stop there. He turned the question around and he asked, okay, what in case you, at the time of death, come to an understanding or realize that God is present, exists? What will you do? Too late. It's too late. Therefore, Prabhupada is so smart, so wise and intelligent. We don't need to certify Prabhupada what he is, but he answers very nicely. So there are people around in the world where they always have this idea that show me. I lived in the state called Show Me State. You know what is Show Me State? Missouri. Thank you. Missouri. You got to show everything. Otherwise, we don't believe in those things. There was one personality in Ramayanam, in Valmiki Ramayanam, who was an advisor, counselor, mentor for Dasaratha Maharaj. His name was Jabali. Usually the kings have the advisors, counselors. Therefore, he was one of the key counselors for Dasaratha Maharaj. So he also was present in Chitrakoot, a place called Chitrakoot, where Rama, Sita, Lakshmana exiled, and they came into this particular place and put a hut, place, and stayed there. So Bharata, along with his along with mothers and other ministers and everyone, came to somehow or the other convince Rama to get him back to Ayodhya. And then, Anuttama Prabhu, the technique really works. I'm not looking at anyone, I'm looking here and there. So makes me not nervous and fear. Thanks for the technique. They're all thinking I'm looking at them, but actually I'm not looking at anyone else. Thank you. I'm learning. It's a very good course. So this person, they all came there to somehow convince Rama and then take him back to Ayodhya, making the king of Ayodhya. At that point, so many people spoke. Rama was very strong in his idiom, in ideology, whatever he wants to do. There's this person called Jabali, is a sage, by the way. Jabali he said, Kahak kasya purusho bandhuhu kim apyam kasya kena chit yed eko jayate jantur eka eva vinashyati. He started telling, who is Dasaratha to you? You call him father. But there is no father, there is no mother, there is no wife, there is no husband. Life is just temporary. Do you remember Rama, do you remember your previous life? No. Do you know what you're going to be in your next life? No. Then why are you worried about reincarnation, next life and all those things? No. There is bad and good. Well, bad and good happens accidentally. It is not anything designed. So don't worry about bad action, good action, karma, reaction, good karma, bad karma. Life goes on. Life is one time. Enjoy your life. Bharata is ready to offer the kingdom. Take it and have fun. This is called Charvaka philosophy, which is very, very sweet and attractive because people are driven by this thing is that enjoy life. Doesn't worry about anything else that's going to happen. Somehow or the other, enjoy life. Cheat others, do whatever you want, enjoy life. Therefore, Jabali was one of the person he was giving, and Rama was very upset. How in the world my father made you as his advisor? He was not happy at all. So we can see not only in Kali Yuga, even in Treta Yuga, where Rama was present, this philosophy was existing. Don't believe in hell. Don't believe in heaven. It's all just to create some fear in the hearts of the people so they can be submissive and do this and that. Otherwise, there's no hell, there is no heaven, nothing. Enjoy. Atraiva naraka swargaha. Therefore, Kapila is saying, mother, even if you don't believe, even people, if they don't believe existence of the physical existence of Naraka and Swarga, they are already experiencing those things in this world. Right now. They are all experiencing. There are so many global problems around the world. There are problems, the climate problem, geographical problems, and economical problems, and technology problems. Many people are losing jobs because of all this called AI technologies, right? So a human right problem, and the women are not being treated, and the children, all those different things are, the COVID-19 effect is still not gone yet. So there's so many things are there. People have started wearing masks, even just like that, right? So therefore, you don't need to really go and experience hell in a different place. There's a mental health. There is a mental hell. There is a physical hell. There is an emotional hell. There is a social hell. All these are what we are every one of us going through in some way or the other, this mental of anxiety, depression, hatred, and physical things of addiction, disease, violence, and so forth. And emotionally, we go to betrayed, heartbreak, and guilt and fear. Oh, I shouldn't have told this one. Right after the class, I'm sure I'm going to feel guilt about, oh, I shouldn't have told this one. Right? Before that, I had a fear whether I should give or not. Now, later it's going to be a guilt. So if we go through emotional feelings and social hell or corruptions, injustice, and so forth. Therefore, the hell and heaven varies according to person. That's a point that Kapila Dev is making a point, important point to his mother. Please understand, is not denying the actual existence of hell and heaven, but is telling that you can have experience over here also. But it's all varies to individual person. For someone who's young, having sugar, sweet, jamuns, rasgullas, all those things is heavenly. For one who's been having, sugar problem, diabetics, and if they take sugar, it's hell for them. Hellish for them. Therefore, in Ramayana gives, when I've been asked to give a talk on this particular sloka, I was fascinated, thrilled, because this is exactly topic has been discussed in Valmiki Ramayana between Mother Sita and Ramachandra. What happens, we'll go to Ramayana again. What happens is that Rama has been told. Everyone knows Ramayana story, so we are going to go straight into the point. Everyone knows Ramayana, right? Yes? Yeah? Okay. I need some participation here as we go here. So now Rama has been told to go out into the forest, exile for 14 years. So he comes to his good wife, Sita, and somehow or the other, the messages, without even any sort of Facebook and WhatsApp message, Sita already got the message. She's packed all her baggage and everything ready. Everything is ready to go. Rama comes, and then Rama says, "My dear Sita, see you after 14 years." What? After 14 years? Yeah, I've been told to go to forest for 14 years. And Sita, what did Sita say? Well, my bags are ready. I'll accompany you. I'll come with you. I'll come with you. Rama, at that point of explains the difficulties that involve in forest. He says, the sada sukkam na jhanami dukkam eva sada vanam. He says, it is not a comfortable place. It's not a comfortable place. The place is full of miseries, difficulties, and filled with wild animals. And the rivers and lakes and all those places are filled and populated with crocodiles and alligators. And on the way, there are creepers, pebbles, and thorns. It's difficult to walk. Even in the night time, you can't find a soft bed. Rather, you got to sleep on the ground with the fallen dry leaves. And what we get to eat is just some fallen fruits and roots and leaves. And there'll be scorpions, snakes, and reptiles, and insects, and mosquitoes, and ants, and etc. He goes in details. I'm not making it up. This is all in Valmiki Ramayana. He says it's all there. The life is going to be hellish. Do you hear the word? Hellish. He says it's not going to be nice. You are in heaven in Ayodhya. Therefore, just stay here. I'll be back in 14 years. At that point of time, Sita raises her eyes and looks at the eyes of Rama and asks, Ramachandra, explain to me what is hell and what is heaven. Yeah. What is hell to your understanding? Anyone? What is hell that you know of? Yeah. Clap, 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 clap. Exactly. Thank you. So, I will come to know whether I had a heavenly experience or hellish experience after the class. So, Rama started explaining. He said, Sita, what a simple question. What a simple question. Hell is a place where people who have done misdeeds, they go to a place which is called hell, and they get punished over there. If some people does a good deeds, they've been awarded to a place and they enjoy there, and that is called heaven. Whereas the hell, there are different hells are there according to one's sins. Tamishra, Antatamishra, Kumbhipaka, Raurava, Maharaurava, Antakupa. So many. If you want, I can order a Sita, if you want, I can order a Bhagavatam set from BBT for you. You keep reading, I'll be back in 14 years. It'll be much nicer. And then Sita laughed at Rama and said, Rama, where did you go to school? I know you went to Vashishta School of Institute of Technology, but then looks like either your teacher did not teach you what is hell and heaven, or when he was teaching, you dozed off. You slept. Something would have happened. And Rama was really perplexed, and he was thinking, what do you mean? I know what, it's a simple question. No. When I asked you the question, tell me what is hell and heaven, you should have asked me back a question, according to who? According to who? Now, let me ask some questions here. So she says, yes, say, if I've been, for me, before coming to the class, if I get an allergy, if I get a cold and cough, it's an hellish condition. For me, if I have a clear throat, I can speak nicely, then it's a heavenly for me. Now, if a beggar on a street has been waiting a long day to get a food, and finally he gets food, what is it for him? Heavenly. A person who's been waiting for his visa to be picked on the lottery, right? If he gets it, what is it? If he doesn't, hell. So the truth is that, of course, another point, if a married couple, if the married couple is dreaming a lot of things about their marriage, and they get married, and if the marriage goes according to their dream, then it is. If not, hellish. Most of the time, it's second part only. That will never come to true anyway. We all know that. Therefore, Rama was telling, explain to me, what is your purport? What are you trying to say? At that point of time, Sita says this sloka, beautiful sloka. He says, Yas tvaya sahasasvargaha nirayo yatvaya vina iti janam param pritim gaccha rama maya saha. He says that, my dear Rama, for me, according to me, what is heaven and what is hell? Listen to me carefully. Your companionship with me is heaven. Separation from you is hell. Hell. That's what he said. Therefore, Rama, in your association, in your companionship, forest is Ayodhya for me. In your absence, Ayodhya is forest for me. In your companionship, fruits and roots and dry leaves are delicious food for me. In your absence, the delicious food is fruits and roots and dry leaves. In your association, the bare ground you said to sleep is like a soft bed for me. In your absence, the soft bed is bare ground for me. In your association, the creepers, the pebbles and the stones and thorns are velvet for me. In your absence, even the velvet carpet is pebbles and thorns for me. In your presence, in your association, the wild animals are friends for me. In your absence, even the family members are wild animals for me. So she was just going on into the details of this. Therefore, either you leave me in a hellish condition or take me with you to be happy with you in a heavenly situation. Rama said, pack, let's go. Let's go. Therefore, we are coming to the end of the first part of the lecture presentation, is where we should understand as a devotee, for us, what is heavenly is being in the association of the devotees, being in the service of devotees and the deities. So, being in Krishna consciousness, there could be situation, there could be friction, there could be heartburns, there could be misunderstanding. Any of this thing could happen in our journey in Krishna consciousness, but never to jump off the boat of Krishna consciousness. If we are in the association of the devotees, then we are in Vaikuntha. As Prabhupada says, he wants to make this place as a Vaikuntha. We are in Vaikuntha. That is heaven for us. Otherwise, we are all going to go through this condition of experience of hell. So what we have to meditate upon is, am I going to create today, when we get up in the morning, am I going to create my life to be hellish or heavenly? Am I going to create heavenly experience or hellish experience for others whom I come in contact with today? It's not only for me, for others also. I have to give an experience, right? I can give an hellish experience or I can give an heavenly experience. So that's the end of the first part of the program. Another 15 more minutes. We'll go through the leadership perspective of this particular sloka. Atraiva narakas swargaha iti matas prasakshate ya yatana vai narakyaha ta ihapi upalakshitaha. My dear mother, it is sometimes said that we experience hell or heaven on this planet for hellish punishments, or sometimes visible on this planet also. The core idea of this sloka, if we try to apply the leadership training that we are going through, I'm just waiting for, if yesterday was so much loaded of so much information, what's going to be today and tomorrow and day after tomorrow? It's going to be a lot of things. So waiting for that. But from what we learned until yesterday is the heaven and hell is not a remote place. It is a place of experience that we provide for others as a leader. As a leader. Therefore, of the leaders, there are three categories of leaders. Do not ask any pramanam or the source of authority of what I'm going to quote. It's just coming out of my own realization. Therefore, there's no any proper source for what I'm saying now. But I think you can relate it. There are three categories of leaders: Adhama, Madhyama, and Uttama. So we can understand where we fall into and then try to slowly progress to the higher category of leadership. So the first one is Adhama, are those who does nothing but they would like to take credit of others' work. Those who are only concerned of their own growth and happiness. Those are Adhama. Adhama means lower. There are only two important points. There could be two or one of these things. That is, they take credits of others' hardship, or they will do this one. There were 3 engineers has been called to build a flight aircraft, a jet flight. So one was from Japan engineer, another one was an American engineer, another one was an Indian engineer. They all got together. The American was giving all the plans and designing the model and engines and everything, and the Japanese are putting things together. The Indian was sitting and drink chai. He was not doing anything. He was just sitting and watching what was happening. But finally, the flight was ready. When everything was ready, both the engineers, the American and the Japanese engineer, came and said, "Hey, come, you see what we have done." The Indian engineer comes and looks there and sees rounds parikrama, and then finally he comes, takes a can of a paint and a brush, comes, "Made in India." Yes, don't take it personal, nothing. So anyway, so this person, Adhama, is who takes the credit of others and also is only concerned about his own growth and his own happiness. Can you tell some examples from the Puranas of those so-called, they're also leaders, by the way. They have been called as leaders. In the Puranas, in the Bhagavatam and Itigasas, some of these characters where people are only interested on their own happiness and growth. Duryodhan, Ravana, Indra. Indra is going to fall under the second category. I'll say why. Okay, thank you though. Anyone else? So many. Hiranyakashipu, Ravana. Have you heard of a king called Vena? Yeah, go Prabhu. Rahuhuna. Huh? Yeah, okay, yeah, Vena. So Duryodhana, Nahusha, all these people are driven by something or the other as their motive. For example, Hiranyakashipu was driven by his ego, whereas Kamsa was driven by fear. And Vena was driven by arrogance, whereas Nahusha, the king Nahusha, was driven by as an immediate position, that is the position of the power or corruption. He became a king, and then immediately he became elevated to the heavenly planet. He became so arrogant after that. Anyway, like that we can see there are different personalities in the scriptures where Adhama leaders. Let's move on to the Madhyama leader. Now someone said Indra. Thank you. So this is an interesting, Madhyama leader is quite an interesting character or a leadership where those who does work, they are not like the other one who does not work. They do work, but as they work, they expect something in return. Vifim, W-I, what's in it for me? Correct? What's in it for me? They will do work, but they want something out of it. Another good thing about these people is, the Madhyama is, they want to be happy, and also, I will be happy, you will also be happy. Let's both of us be happy. But the problem with this Madhyama is, for something or the other, you don't make me happy, I'll become angry. I'll be upset. Right? There's always an expectation of you have to function in this way, then I can make you happy. If not, then you're not in my good books. And that's best example is Indra. You keep giving him what he wanted, he gives you what you wanted. When you stop giving him what he wanted, he gets mad. He gets mad. Therefore, this is the second category of Madhyama Adhikari or Madhyama leaders, where let's move on to the third one, Third one is the Uttama. Guess what's the characteristic of a Uttama leader? Of whatever we saw now so far. Huh? Prithu Maharaj. But what character? What's the characteristic of a Prithu Maharaj? What's the character?
They want to make others happy, and their self-interest is very secondary. It's not, I think they're selfless.
Yeah, yeah. Very good. Let's clap for Mataji also. Otherwise, I will get a complaint. You only clap for Prabhus, not for Mataji. So yes, Ranti Deva, Shibit Chakravarti, who gave his own flesh to a bird, if you know that story again. There are many, Ambarish Maharaj, Yudhishthira Maharaj, and Prithu Maharaj, like Mataji said. And the ideal best example is Srila Prabhupada, who was given his own life to make this place Vaikunta without any ulterior motive, nothing else other than he wants to uplift all of us. Right? Otherwise, we won't be sitting and talking here, all the great things that we are talking here. Ramachandra was an ideal servant leader. Yudhishthira Maharaj was a best of dharmic person. Ambarisha was very steady in his leadership. And Prithu Maharaj, an empowering leader. He satisfies and takes care of the needs of all the citizens. So we can derive so many wonderful qualities from all these leaders here. All those leaders from the Puranas. And not only from the Puranas, we can even see in our own movement, there are great leaders. There are many leaders who are given their life and set as an example. Therefore, people, when they come into the temple, this may be, I'm just taking, not this mean this temple, in general, people may be coming to a temple, but if they had a bad experience, the temple is for them hellish. For us, it may be a temple, but if we don't give a good experience for the guest who is coming and people who are coming, for them, that's not a temple, even though deities are there, devotees are there, because they are new people. If they're not, then they're going to see this not as a temple. It's an hellish experience for them. Therefore, whether you make it as hellish or heavenly depends in the hands of the leader. That's one thing. But I just don't want to take one moment to also emphasize one important thing. It is not that everything has to be dumped upon someone called leader. Leader is not the only one who has to bear all the things on his shoulder and walk around like this. It is a duty of every single devotee who's working under the leader, working under the management, to make sure that leader, whatever they are going to do, is going to reflect on the leadership. Yes or no? It's going to reflect on the leadership. Therefore, it's important that, now I went to, when I was in Dallas a few days back, I was with one of my, another friend, neighbor. We went to an Indian grocery shop. Over there, this person was, he went and bought, in the Indian grocery shop, they were making all this bakery item, and also pakodas, samosas, and everything. So he went and bought, asked for a box of chili pakodas. And I noticed from the glass inside, it's a glass thing, right? You can see that there were only 4 or 5 pakodas left. But this person went and asked, I need a box of pakodas. And then that lady who was inside the service, she went and got the pakodas and then gave it to this person, ready to charge the bill. At the time I told, check the box. And he opened and saw, and it was all, the remainings of pakodas. It was not a whole pakoda, it's a small size, this one and that one broken. And then one piece was some other item, not even pakodas. She was just trying to make a weight of that box so that she can get the money. I told, open the box and see. And he was so shocked. He said, I'm not going to come to this shop again. The owner has no clue what has happened, by the way. The owner doesn't know. He could be a very wonderful, nice manager, a leader, but he doesn't know what has happened. But one of his employee created a situation of a bad experience to the customer and drives away the customer for the rest of his life. Lost the customer. And therefore, yes, it is important to be a wonderful leader, wonderful manager, etc. But it's just burden is not only on the leader and the manager, it is also every single person who's working in the temple, working in the congregation, in the community, to make sure that we are assisting the leader and the manager in the goal that they have to achieve in service of Srila Prabhupada. Every one of us has an important role. We don't want to give a bad experience to people. Therefore, let me another 4 more minutes and we'll stop and open for question and answer. Now, a place where is no protection of children. We have a wonderful temple, everything is there. But then if there is no protection for the children, do you feel that place is heavenly or hellish? Hellish. If there is a place, if the temple where everything is wonderful, but the women are not protected, not respected, not honored, do you think it's a hellish or heavenly? Everyone, please. Hellish. Only Mataji is telling? So it's hellish. It is hellish. Therefore, for a simple example, when Prabhupada started this movement, he started in the storefront. Many of them, that small storefront, for many people, it was heavenly. Yes? Many people got connected to that place. It was heavenly. So it's more than the opulence, the more than the delivery of wonderful speech and wonderful prasadam and all those different things. What's important is what experience are we giving to others. There's another problem that we have, and I'm going to end with that one. The another problem we have is, as devotees, what we do is we always focus on new devotees. When the new devotees becomes existing old devotees, our focus goes on the new devotees and we least worry about the other devotees. Sometimes we even forget to say Hare Krishna to other devotees. Not that we intentionally do that. Sometimes we have to be conscious of whom did we deal with and so forth. We have to be very careful to value what we have and have a clarity and a proper communication. So when these things are there, our leadership will grow nicely. Therefore, the take home, I will end with this one. The leadership thing go on for long, but I want to end up with 2 points as a summary to conclude on this one. The first lesson is, as long as we are in Krishna consciousness, in the association of the devotees, we are in Vaikuntha. If not, we are in Naraka. So we have to value what we have and to not lose that opportunity. Number 1, take home lesson. Number 2, heaven or hell or heaven are not a place that we have to go and experience, or we can experience those things over here by someone else, or through us, someone gets that experience. So let's make sure the people are valued, inspired, and they feel safe. With that one, I like to special thanks to Anutama Prabhu for inviting us and having us to do this wonderful course of wanting to make us a good leader and manager. And I'm always, this is not is a flowery words to glorify someone on the front of someone's face, but my inspiration of leadership is always derived from His Grace Jai Krishna Prabhu. It's not just a word of things to appreciate. Always I look after him. And I sincerely thank every one of you for being here to listen to me. And now you know how not to present. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. As per the time, it's 8:50. I stopped. 10 minutes for any questions or discussions or things. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Even feedbacks are allowed. Because of the short time that we have, I'm going to bypass Anutama Prabhu's principle of add good and then improvement and add good. They don't have much time to add goods, only improvements. Please tell me.
But questions first. Braj Vihari, who teaches, the head of ISKCON Resolve, talks about how we all are aware of our intention, but we don't understand the impact on others. Others are aware of the impact of what someone else does, but we have no idea what their intention is. In this age of quarrel and lack of appreciation, there is such a, like you described these 3 categories, we all may tend to see ourselves as the Uttama, because that's our intention, but oftentimes people see us as whatever your categories were, the selfish person. And we all know we're mixed. I mean, you describe these as aspirational, but we're all mixed. Is there a way we can create an atmosphere by which people are more willing to appreciate our efforts to be the best we possibly can, at the same time trying to help us, like the feedback we were talking about yesterday? How do we overcome this tendency to tear each other down and not see the positive things we're doing, but instead see the negative?
In our group discussion that you nicely organized yesterday, Dronacharya Prabhu and I were discussing on one point where he mentioned one nice thing that about giving your time. Giving your time makes others feel they've been valued. They've been valued. Therefore, it is important. We may be running around and trying to do so many services, but others may not see and understand our intent or how we are doing and what we are doing. Sometimes it's important that we communicate. We sit and talk to people. We have Ishtagoshti and things like that. On a regular basis, some communication should be there. So there's any sort of a misunderstanding and wrong representation can be addressed. That gap can be filled by proper communication with the devotees. That's all I can think of. Anutama Prabhu, please add. Anutama Prabhu will give a purport on this during the session today.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much. You very confidently presented the subject matter. It's interesting, yes, the hellish and heavenly experiences are there. How do you explain this from Prabhupada's purport? That it is stated previously that in any hellish condition, the conditioned soul thinks he is happy. It's interesting, right? It says even one is in hellish condition, one is happy.
So have you had an experience of any time you had itch in your body? Yeah? Sometimes it's nice to keep itching. It is just not nice, but then you feel very nice. It's just going to create a problem as you keep itching, especially we tell the children, hey, you got wound, don't itch. It's going to peel off the drying things and you're going to get bleeding and so forth. But when you itch, it's really nice. Don't you feel it's an experience of enjoyment in a hellish situation? Sometimes people like to say, out of thousands of people, I have this disease. You know that? What is to be proud about that? They're happy to be proud of one among 1,000 to be having that serious disease. They're happy about it. Brings
I never
happiness.
heard about that.
Okay? That's all. Sometimes people have. Sometimes people like to talk about their problems to others, how they've been tortured, how the problems they are going through. And you know what? Actually, they are getting some happiness by talking these things to others. They're getting something nice. Oh, look. That's the truth. Hidden truth. They get some satisfaction by talking, gossiping about others, telling about management, talking about these things. It's just getting some happiness internally. They don't express that. Their face may be like this, but internally they're happy. Okay, anyone else? Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I really appreciated how you referenced Malati's class from yesterday. So you included this continuity in the Bhagavatam experience. I really like that. Now I just had a question, Prabhupada, his last instruction to us, Srila Prabhupada said, you'll show your love for me by how you cooperate. And it seems that so many times, someone will take an instruction from Srila Prabhupada and then he'll try to achieve the result, he'll work towards that goal of fulfilling Srila Prabhupada's desire, but he does it in such a way that he kills the spirit of cooperation. In fact, they'll challenge that, the leaders aren't following Srila Prabhupada's instruction, so therefore it's my duty to create disturbance. I mean, that's a dynamic that I'm just seeing played out, and I'm wondering if you, from your courses with the Nuttam Prabhu, have any suggestions on how we can perhaps
Well, in the
overcome
Srimad
this.
Bhagavatam, there is a conversation takes place between Indra and Vatrasura. So, the beautiful conversation, Indra was fixed on what he wants to achieve, to kill this Asura. Whereas Vritrasura, at the same time, he was also, and he knows very well that he is going to be killed somehow or the other. But then what Vritrasura was doing is, rather than showing his power, he was giving Indra the idea how he can be killed. Reminded him that the only reason the purports and the Acharya says is the only reason he did this is to be in align with the authority, the desire of Krishna. Krishna, somehow or the other, his service is to be. Vitrasura understood he has to die, that is Krishna's will. Therefore, he was abiding to the will of Krishna and then not going outside of Krishna's choice. Likewise, what we have to do in our leadership is sometimes we may be like Indra trying to function with closed eyes. This is what I want to do. But then when you remove those things, then you will see there are different other factors. It's not only this person, there are many other factors I need to consider to apply the details in such a way the principle is not lost. The principle maybe I want to achieve this is what Prabhupada said. But the details has to be modified according to the time, place and circumstances. What Vritrasura did was, according to the time, place and circumstances, he applied his intelligence. Well, I'm going to help you in this situation, how to get this project done faster. Here's what you need, Dadichi. Go to Dadichi, get the bones, kill me off. Done, you'll be done. So likewise, we also follow the Prabhupada principles, but it varies according to time, place, and circumstances. That's one of the principles that we learned yesterday from Anuttama Prabhu. Therefore, we have to be careful when we apply this one to be considerate of our devotees around us and people around us. That requires maturity, that requires mentorship, guidance from others. Thank you all very much for giving me an opportunity, and thanks to all the senior devotees here and others.